Hi, everybody. Welcome to Am I the Ace Hole? We're changing the podcast to Ace Hole.
It's poker themed now. Is that a poker thing? I don't know.
Ace in the hole? I don't know anything about card games. To
whatever.
be frank, I'm more of a go fish guy. So, Sarah, did you want to bring up something we discussed prior that you said you would bring up?
Well, basically, Danny just thinks I'm a hypocrite. You didn't say it, but that's fine because the implication was there.
Yes.
Strong implication. I'm not dumb. Because, like, as much as I rail against guys who, like, don't commit and are, like, wishy-washy.
Right.
You think I'm doing the same thing. However, I don't think I'm being wishy-washy. I think I'm being very clear about my boundaries.
Yeah, I think you're drawing a boundary, but when I brought up sort of what sort of things a man might say,
correct.
One of the things was that he tried to DTR in a very roundabout way.
Yes.
He said, "Are you looking for a relationship?"
Yeah.
And you used that against him when you were building up a profile, hypothetically, of this creepy man.
No, I don't think he's creepy. Also, the context. I'm sorry. I feel like this was key. The context was like, we were like in bed, not clothed.
Ooh.
And I was like, yo, what the fuck? I felt like I was being bamboozled.
So another thing that I found really shocking is that you had mentioned with this, hypothetical situation.
Right. That isn't real.
Totally hypothetical.
Not about one person at all.
There's something in my throat. And that you hadn't actually done the deed. You'd only messed around, which I think that is a little weird that he would. I mean, that would be Mike. Because, like, if you haven't closed a deal, you don't.
I know, right? You should keep it chill. Like, just be cool. Like, just be normal. I don't get what the deal is.
Right. Right. I think it's tough. Look, I think though, when you said that and you were telling me, I guess I do want to push you a little bit more into like it is a little bit of a game. You've got to play by certain rules that are unspoken rules. And you say you don't like the men because they're playing the game, but you're playing the game too. And that's all I want. That's all I'm asking for.
Okay. I don't think I'm playing a game because I think I'm pretty honest about my feelings. It's not the same as like when you're dating someone for 2 months and you try to ask them like just where this is going and they just give you like a general roundabout answer.
Sure. But you did admit, and I think this is the insight, that there is a feeling, which I would describe as the feeling of attraction.
Yeah.
And if a man is too forward, sometimes that
I think if anyone is too forward.
If anyone is too forward. Well, if two people are too forward to each other at the same time,
I guess that's cool.
The one time.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's a huge turnoff.
I think it works both ways. If like a woman is too not forward in a sexual way because like guys are just like, yeah, mostly.
No, disagree there.
Really? I would say if she's too forward like emotionally, most guys would be like, bleh.
It depends what you mean, yeah.
Okay,
it's like date one and she's like, so my father is a huge asshole.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Okay, I didn't know we were going that.
Yeah.
But like if a girl, and I actually have guilt about this because in college there were a few situations where like a girl slept with me immediately and I immediately went I ghosted. Oh my God,
Ouch.
I've never considered myself a ghoster because it happened before the term existed.
But you did it.
I did it, and I have some guilt about that. And I do think, though, that, like, it's just a hard rule. Like, and anytime female friends have come to me and said, what can I do? I say, you don't sleep with them until you have, like, you've got to make him invest in you, and you've got to have a real connection. Then you give up the goods.
I think it's less about, like, gamifying your sexuality and more just actually trying to, like, suss out if you like the person and if they're not just going to cut and run the second you sleep with them, which honestly, I've been doing this a lot lately. It's worked out in my favor every single time.
But I feel like that's such a cynical, I mean, honestly, you really do sound like a true crime. You're like, I need to check them out and make sure they're not going to cut and run. I'm doing an investigation.
How is that more cynical than being like, women's virginity is precious and you can't give it up right away?
Well, I'm not saying virginity.
You know what I mean.
Okay, I guess I'm just saying that
a woman's flower is a beautiful thing, and you don't want to give it to the wrong.
Well, I've never slept with a girl who didn't have her hymen. I mean, that's disgusting. That's totally a joke, everybody.
Yep, Danny only sleeps with girls who wear pads.
All there we go. Let's go. I'll eat a hymen anyway.
I'm leaving.
I'll eat a hymen. No, Well, I guess I just think, look, I think it's not good and it's bad that men are like this, but you just said that there is like a sort of thing where if a guy's too forward, it's an instant turnoff for you. And there is a female equivalent, absolutely. However, I think it happens a lot more where guys they fall head over heels for girls, and then they they turn into like crazy. I mean, look, I guess it's on both sides, but like,
yeah,
I think with girls, it's more key that, at least in my experience, look, maybe no one's just fallen head over heels for me, and
maybe
I'm not going to cry or anything, but no, but like, I feel like, it's good practice to not sleep with them too early because you want to build a connection, and that's it.
Yeah, I think from coming from more of like a connection standpoint and just like actually figure out if you like the person or if it's just infatuation. I feel like that's a big thing.
Perfect. I love that. There we go. We found it. All right, guys.
We did it.
We did it. We solved
dating. Listen to our dating podcast.
Sarah is now going to be happily married forever. So, guys, we got a listener comment coming in. We should make like a listener comment sound, maybe. Like,
I'm honestly down. Yeah.
Danny said something offensive.
I hope to never be a part of this segment because I cannot handle it because I'm soft. Let's go.
I think you're good. I think it's probably already pissed off someone with this episode. But somebody took umbrage. I don't know what I said about Adderall. I probably said like everyone who does Adderall is addicted to speed and is literally just partying. And no one uses... I
don't remember you saying that because I would have disagreed with it.
It was probably like... I mean, it was a joke because all of the people I know who use Adderall use it in a way that I would describe as... occupational. That's how I would describe it, right?
Yeah.
It's like they don't need it. They don't have ADHD. They don't have any problem. They just want to enhance their performance. That's it.
It's a performance enhancing drug.
Yes. It's fucking steroids for being a goddamn like finance guy. That's what it is. And I got friends that got Adderalls lying around their house, and I'm an addict. You think I'm not smelling them? I'm smelling them.
Smelling them.
Well, I won't let myself take them. But anyway, so someone wrote in who actually has ADHD. They said they take Adderall, and they took some umbrage with what I said. They said it's not fun when you need it to perform basic daily tasks. So I'm an idiot because clearly some people do need it. There's a reason it's a drug.
Yeah, there's a reason it was invented.
So I kind of delved in and I was like, so tell us though, so we can understand better. And this goes actually pretty deep, Sarah.
Yes.
Her counselors in high school were huge assholes because this is Hannah D, by the way, who submitted this. Her counselors, huge assholes because she wanted to get on Adderall her junior year. And then the counselors were like, oh, so now you just want extra time on the SATs? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yikes.
And I don't know if you know this, but that is exactly how they did the fucking, what is it called? The SAT admission scandal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you mean? They asked for extra time?
Yeah, exactly.
Which scandal? The Felicity Huffman?
Yes, that was how it worked. You would have to pay the guy $70,000.
Oh, I see.
But the way that they would,
you could just get an Adderall prescription for a few $100s.
Right? No. Well, the way they would do it is they would get the proctor who administered the SAT that was like untimed or whatever, or more leniently timed. Hannah said that when she was finally prescribed Adderall after being like essentially shamed. When she was finally prescribed it, she stopped self-medicating in the many dangerous ways she was, and her mental health improved so much. So there's a story about Adderall you don't hear. It's an important one, and it's out there, folks.
Right. Wholesome, I guess.
Wholesome
content.
It's not all just chopping up a tiny blue pill and snorting it and smoking fucking menthol Marlboros on the bridge because you're in the honors college and you think you're cooler than everyone, but you're in a comedy troupe, so you actually are cooler than everyone, but nobody wants to have sex with you. Anyway,
Danny, are you okay?
That wasn't about me. That was just a little riff. Okay. Sarah put this episode together, and didn't you say it was themed, Sarah? It's kind of fun.
Yeah, the theme is people running around unsupervised.
Oh boy.
It's a loose thread, but I decided to go with it. I like a theme.
Our second story of the day, AITA for yelling at a lady who was looking into my windows to stalk her son. But first... AITA, I let my 4-year-old explore the restaurant while we ate. So this is from Dear Prudence. We actually pulled this. We converted it into an AITA. Don't sue us.
Yeah. Anything could be an AITA if you just frame it the right way.
Right. And I mean, they submitted this to an advice column.
Yeah, I can't believe some people are so obtuse.
My wife and I and our 4-year-old son were out to dinner last week. It was a medium nice restaurant. That's cute. Medium nice. Not fast food, but not super fancy either. My son is a normal, active little boy, and it's hard for him to sit through a whole dinner. So we let him explore the restaurant a little. I noticed our waitress giving him the hairy eyeball, so we asked him to stop running. He was pretty good about it after that, but he did get underfoot when she was carrying a tray, and she spoke to him pretty sharply to go back to our table and sit down. I felt it was completely uncalled for, and she should have come and spoken to us personally instead of disciplining someone else's child. I tipped 5% and spoke briefly to her manager, who gave non-committal replies. My wife agrees with me, but when we posted about it on our Facebook, we got a lot of judgy responses. AITA.
Wow. This is just such a delusional parent, and you can tell, because we let him explore the restaurant. We asked him to stop running. He was pretty good about it, but then somehow magically he ended up almost tripping this poor waitress carrying a tray. Clearly he was not being good about it and was not listening to you. So what the fuck? Yeah.
Wait, are you telling me a 4-year-old is an asshole?
No. I'm saying the parent's asshole.
No. I'm saying obviously a 4-year-old is an uncontrolled ball of energy. They're like a freaking asteroid or some
I feel like
shit.
these people are like, well, we asked him nicely and he didn't want to do it. So
right.
It's out of our hands now.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't know, I don't know how low your understanding is of your parental responsibilities.
I hate that.
It's a freaking restaurant, not a daycare center.
Yeah. So I feel like someone said something to that effect.
It's just too dang true.
Man, this is an Applebee's.
And then
Sir.
tipping 5% and she spoke to him pretty sharply to go back to our table and sit down. Did she call him a fucker?
Yeah, she was probably like, go back to your table and sit down. She probably said it sternly because these parents clearly weren't being stern about it.
So reasonable.
For all the people who were like, well, she could have come and spoken to you. I'm like, okay, what are you going to do in the heat of the moment when some bratty ass kid almost trips you up and potentially could cause you to hurt them or yourself?
Absolutely.
What are you really going to take a moment? Are you guys all that fucking zen that you're like, oh, I almost got hurt, but you know what? I will go talk to the parents. No.
No one
is.
You
would lash out temporarily at the kid and be like, go back to your table.
Oh, absolutely. I would,
I hate people on the internet who are like, well, you should have done this completely nice and calm thing. And it's people have emotions.
Yes.
And this is just not realistic.
Armchair, not activists. They're just armchair human beings. They're just
honestly, yeah, you're right. That's why when we talk about on the true crime podcast that I do, when we talk about how people act in police custody or after being interrogated, I try to never have that count in my mind towards whether I think they did it or not, because how the fuck do I know how I would act if my husband got murdered?
Right.
It's a crazy thing.
Oh, I would crack immediately. I could be totally innocent. They're like, did you kill him? I'm like, no. They're like, did you kill him? I'm like, no. They're like, did you kill him? All right, yeah, I killed him. Can I go now?
I probably would too.
No, you just said you killed him.
Right.
So these parents are inept and the kid is 4 years old, so he's good. Actually, you know what I want to talk about? There's all these weird phrases in this person.
What is a hairy eyeball?
Medium nice? Who writes medium nice like this?
I don't know.
I feel like this is kind of like someone who wears their Sunday's best. They don't really do a lot of writing, but they're like, I'm writing Dear Prudence, so I really need to throw it down, and I'm going to use a hyphen over here. And
medium nice. I know. I feel like they went to a Red Lobster.
Oh, this was totally an RL. And also their use of the word underfoot, but he did get underfoot when she was carrying a tray. I'm pretty sure they think underfoot means literally under your
I know.
foot,
I don't think that's what it means.
Maybe that flies. I've just never, it's usually there's a plot underfoot.
Yeah, exactly. A mystery.
A mystery. They're coming to kill you, Saya.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's very weird.
Denise S. Oh, and also, why did they post it on their Facebook? That's also weird. It's
well, they probably just posted here's what happened to us. Can you guys believe that this waitress would discipline our kid? And then honestly, these people's Facebook friends are the heroes for being no, you guys actually suck. And not just being yeah, you're right. That's totally messed up.
Yeah, they didn't get what they wanted.
Yep.
Denise S. says, YTA, Your job is to control your child and keep them from getting in people's way. The waitress should not have to tell you to do your job as a parent. It was within her rights to do what she did. Now, then there's a lot of many YTAs.
Yeah,
I mean,
we all mostly agree.
Absolutely. I don't think there's a lot of really like substantial disagreement here, especially because like spoke to him pretty sharply is pretty dang reasonable.
Right.
You know?
It's not like she started screaming at the kid uncontrollably or like even it didn't even sound like she tried to touch the kid, you know? Like even if she had tried to grab his arm or something, then I'd be like, oh, that's a little
right. You don't touch a kid.
Yeah.
You want to use like a stick or something and prod the child. Allison R writes, and this is our dissenter. Wow, everyone in this thread is the asshole. Children are citizens of the world, just like teenagers, adults, elderly, disabled.
I hate this.
If you're a server and you don't like kids because they may be loud or messy, don't be a fucking server. Everyone here was once a child. False! I was born this way and had the same urges to walk around a restaurant. It's not a crime. Children learn from experiences, so guess what? These parents are parenting correctly and allowing their child to learn from natural consequences. I just want to cut in here because no, they're not, because they're now getting mad at the waitress trying to get her fired or reprimanded at her job for doing the natural consequence, which is if you're running amok, causing people like risk of injury, then you're going to get scolded. And the parents are like, I feel like she thinks that we're all calling the child an asshole. And we're like, no, the child is innocent. The child is a victim of shitty parents who are just letting them do whatever they want. I don't know. This is like anger. Yeah, she writes, going on, she writes, the bad rap that children get for being children is ridiculous, and no mother or father should be bullied into being cooped up in their home until their children act like an effing proper grammar school kid. Okay, but like, did we read the same story? Like, no one is saying any of that. No one is saying they shouldn't go out to the restaurant. No, but you know, maybe she's onto a little something. Can we give her a little? Oh boy, now you're upset with me.
No, I'm just like, what are you going to give her?
There's something to what she's saying. You know, could maybe what if the waitress had just gone to the parents and been like, hey, I'm worried about your son. He's like running around and it's getting dangerous. Could you please call in the boy?
Okay.
And you know, I don't know, because actually, all right. I can't even.
I'm sorry. You tried it.
I tried. I was
lost at children are citizens of the world.
Well, no, that's just not true. Children do have different rights than everyone else. Like that's part of how it goes. Like
children can't vote.
No.
For one.
Children can't vote and they can't drive and
they can't rent a hotel room.
No, they can't. And I'm tempted to make a pedophile joke. But I won't,
don't do it.
Sarah won't like it. So anyway. The thing that this notion that the bad rap that children get for being children is ridiculous. Like, I mean, it is true, but like, I think the thing is, I don't know if we agree so much because like, I guess what we're going to argue about is what the definition of an asshole is. Cause like to me, kids are assholes. A baby really is almost exclusively an asshole. It just shits and it eats and it screams. It's pretty much basically it's a food to ass. It's basically the baby's body exists to help the asshole shit.
Oh,
like
God.
it has nothing.
But they're cute.
Well, they're cute, and I think, and I thought what you would say or something like, you know, well, an asshole is someone who has the capability to not be an asshole, and I think that is part of being an asshole. You have
That's kind of true, yeah, because you can't fault like a kid or a baby for not knowing better.
No, of course not. They don't know anything.
Yeah, so you just who can know better? The parents.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's how no one's coming at this kid for like running around a restaurant.
No.
And also it's not like, I feel like there would be a couple different scenarios in which this criticism might be valid. Like one would be if the kid was just being loud and like sitting in a seat being loud and people were like coming for these parents. But like, it's kind of like your kid is running around. Like you're not supposed to do that in a restaurant. I don't know, man.
Oh yeah. I didn't like, she also said that. She's like, what did she say about that? She said, everyone here was once a child and had the same urges to walk around a restaurant. It's not a crime.
Yeah, it's not that doesn't matter. What does something have to be a crime for it to not be socially appropriate?
Well,
that's fucking ridiculous.
It's also not a thing. You don't walk around a restaurant. You walk to the bathroom and you walk back to your seat. That's all the walking that's to be done.
Yeah, I I mean, whatever. When we were kids, we probably wanted to run around, but my parents like would not let us get away with that.
As a kid, running around is so fun. Do you
Yeah.
remember that? Like, I remember. So one time we took an airplane, like a real size airplane, and it was empty.
Really?
Yeah, like a jet.
Wow.
And because basically they were like, oh, the jet's broken and we're delayed 3 hours.
And your parents are like, it's fine. We'll risk it.
Yeah. And then they're like, all right, the jet's delayed another 3 hours. But
Oh.
you can get a voucher if you want. My parents are like, no, we'll wait. And then they were like, the jet's delayed another 2 hours, but you can get a voucher if you want. And by that point, there were only 12 people left. And then we boarded an A320, which is the size of a 737, a full-size jet. And I remember being a kid and running in the plane. And
That sounds
so
fun.
fun.
Okay, but also, what? Like, how did your parents not take that voucher? I don't understand.
Because my parents...
They were like, no, we'll just wait 8 hours.
Yeah, we just hung out at the airport.
Oh my God. I can't tell if your parents are like insane or saints.
They're like, they just don't...
It's crazy to me. My
They-
mom would have been at the end of her rope.
I think my dad is like one of those people, and my mom was just like, whatever, we'll just hang at the airport. How is that so bad? We're sitting.
Oh God, I'd be so bored. I'd get drunk.
know?
You can't do that with your kids.
Yeah.
Sorry, now I'm
my dad
just-
probably was drunk. I don't really remember.
Neither does he. Ha.
So Allison R writes, no roaming or running. I definitely wouldn't let my kid do that either, but we have completely different parenting styles because making your kid sit still or stay at home is extremely repressive and harmful to me.
I just thought it would be fun to cover the back and forth on Facebook because otherwise this is like a pretty cut and dry YTA situation.
Right. I mean, like, none of her things are true. It's like, of course, you should be allowed to bring your kid out, but you just got to make sure they're not doing something literally dangerous.
I
Yeah.
think people are willing to like extend you a courtesy if your kid is just being obnoxious.
Of course.
But when you go into dangerous territory, it's like, okay, you can't just like be like, oh, well, they should be able to make their own choices
Right.
and do what they please. Like, I don't know why I'm like in a fake British accent today, but it just feels right.
Well, yeah, that's what that is. It's like this detached armchair human being attitude.
I don't know.
Crystal C says, sitting still for an hour isn't repressive. Being aware that other people exist isn't repressive. It's something successful human beings need to learn to function in society.
Honestly, more people like just in this day and age need to freaking understand that. I got on the subway yesterday and this was a teenager came on blasting his music out of his phone, no headphones. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sir, this shit knocks, but like everybody doesn't want to hear this. Like, why do you think this is okay?
But you actually said something to him?
No, of course not.
No, I've never had the guts.
Never. I'll sometimes like give someone a dirty look, but no, I would never say anything.
I have looked at someone and just kind of like glared at them for a bit, enough that they would feel it.
Oh,
And one time a guy turned off his thing, but
hey.
you never know. I don't know.
I need to know. Next time I'll conduct a full scale interview. Like, I need to know what possesses you to fucking do that.
Yeah, you should just say, excuse me, sir, why do you think that's okay?
Right. Why are you the way that you are?
I don't know if you ever saw this tweet I put out, but this is totally true. I was a video tweet, and there was a guy holding the train.
Oh my God.
Because he was trying to get directions from the conductor.
Oh my God.
He was just talking to the conductor. He's like, yeah, I'm trying to go to downtown Brooklyn. And it was an uptown 6th train.
Oh,
and he's just
no.
holding the door. And they're like, please, sir, close the door. And he's like, no, how do I get there?
Oh my God. Ask anyone else. That's ridiculous.
It was so funny.
Yeah, I think we can we don't have to go through the whole feud if you don't want. I just thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah, what Prudence said.
Yeah, we should go through what Prudence said.
All right. So Prudence said, yeah, this is your fault. It's usually your fault. Of course, it's hard for a 4-year-old to sit down, which is why people usually stick to fast dining establishments while working on restaurant manners. It's why one parent usually responds to a fidgety kid who wants to explore by taking him outside the restaurant where he can get his wiggles out while not taking laps around servers precariously carrying trays of often extremely hot food. A kid exploring a restaurant is not a thing. When you did intervene, it wasn't to get him back in his seat. It was just to instruct him to stop running. You weren't parenting, so a server did it for you. She was right. You were wrong.
You know what? That's a good point. They just said stop running. It doesn't necessarily mean sit back into your seat.
Right.
The kid could have been like, oh, I'm speed walking around the restaurant. This is totally fine.
Right. I mean, I think in the waitress's defense, I think there's a way to talk to children that can be better, but like I don't hold it against her remotely because like she's a waitress doing her freaking job. Like that's not part of her role.
But also sometimes like being stern with kids is effective.
Yeah, I just think sometimes you got to talk to them in a way that like makes them feel like, hey, I know you wouldn't know this because you're 4. I don't know. Does that help? I've never had kids. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Bottom line, I don't think this is a complicated one.
Nope.
I personally believe children are not citizens of the world. AITA, I let my 4-year-old explore the restaurant while we ate.
YTA, obviously.
AITA for yelling at a lady who is looking into my windows to stalk her son.
So weird.
I'm
right.
19F and live at home with my family. My younger brother, Mike, is 14. He has a group of friends in the neighborhood that he always hangs out with. The boys are 14 to 15 and really nice kids, but most of their moms are hella weird. They have a group chat where they're secretly supervising the boys, basically constantly updating where they are in the neighborhood. My mom was added to the chat and showed me the messages to have a laugh about it, and it's honestly ridiculous. They sent texts like, I saw them at XY Street 15 minutes ago, and they were in our garden 5 minutes ago. I think now they're headed to the skate park. I think it's hilarious because our neighborhood isn't dangerous at all. One of the moms is especially annoying because she keeps calling our house and asking if her son Jake is there. We once were put in a group chat together for a church project, and since then she has my number and texts me all the time asking about the boys because my mom won't respond. Now, yesterday I was home alone at about 2 p.m. because my mom was at work and my siblings were out. Jake's mom had called my phone 2 times, but I didn't answer because she was annoying me. My boyfriend came over and we were just sort of chilling in the living room, talking and listening to music.
Sure.
We were sitting on the couch and started to kiss and make out a bit. It was all nice and peaceful. And suddenly I hear a really loud knock. It really made us jump because it was just so sudden. I turned to look and there's Jake's freaking mom outside knocking at the window. I nearly hit the ceiling. I was so angry. I go outside and she's all like, blah, blah, blah. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to ask because I haven't seen Jake in almost 2 hours. Apparently, we didn't hear the doorbell because of the music, so she just walked around the house to investigate and look in the windows. I really blew up at her saying that she's a weirdo who stalks her son everywhere and a freak to look in other people's windows. I also asked her if her obsessive stalking was a reason for a divorce, which probably went a little too far. Whoa.
Woo!
My boyfriend thought I was justified and my brother thought it was funny, but my mom is mad at me because all the other moms are now blowing up her phone. She also thinks I shouldn't have said the stuff about the divorce. I feel sorry for putting my mom in this position, but I feel like someone needed to tell that lady how annoying her behavior is. AITA.
Wow. Wow.
It's hard to assess fully how much of a violation this is. Because,
I know.
like,
I'm not buying OP's narrative completely.
Right. Because, like, well, the way I was seeing it, it's like, God, we've definitely had neighbors where, like, if they knocked on my back window, I'd be like, what are you doing back there? But I wouldn't be like,
what the fuck is wrong with you?
Exactly.
You crazy stalker. Like, no. It's like, oh, you tried to knock on the door probably, and then nobody heard. Isn't that what she said? She said the music was too loud or something. So she didn't hear the doorbell.
Yeah. And she's 19.
It's like you were banging. Just admit it.
Right.
Just admit it.
Or maybe she wasn't, but like when you're 19, it's like, oh my God, we're making out. Oh my God, it was so important.
Yeah, true. I mean, also like part of me is like, if all these boys are 14, 15 and really nice kids, but they all happen to have these like overprotective helicopter parents, I'm like, are the kids really nice or are they getting into mischief?
Right.
I've got to wonder.
Right. The divorce line is really brutal, and I think it's
so brutal.
It's the exact kind of weapon. It's like when you're 19. I actually think this happens as early as 14. You start to understand on like a subconscious level, like weapons you can use against people. You're like, well, weight is obvious, but like you even understand like divorce is serious, and like these things kind of click with you. But you don't have the judgment yet, right? Because you're basically just a 19-year-old, as I've said before, a 19-year-old boy is just a penis with a gun taped onto it. Like, so like, I feel like this comment is just like so wildly disproportionate. It's like, you're really gonna throw a divorce? I mean, so it's what? Also, the lady's mildly annoying. Like,
right. Also, she hasn't seen her son in 2 hours, which is like completely, I think, fair. It's not like, ma'am, it's been 10 minutes.
Yeah, they're kiddos,
you can call her a stalker, but if it's been 2 hours, First of all, also, why doesn't she know where her son is? Like, why doesn't he have a phone? Like, why is she calling everybody else but her son?
I think it's kind of fun. I don't necessarily think it's like toxic or bad. I think it's cool. It's like they let the kids run around. They give them a little freedom and all the moms talk. I mean, look, they got nothing better
honestly,
to do.
it makes
cute.
sense to me. Yeah, they're all like, clearly, I don't know, they're probably like stay-at-home moms or something because they're just all like the neighborhood watch.
Yeah, SJ agrees with me. They write, I think it's great that the moms of these kids are connected and looking out for all the kids, though frequent updates is a bit excessive. To address the window incident, yeah, it's weird, but definitely could have been handled better. The mature thing to do if you really need to address it is 1, establish boundaries, express that it made you uncomfortable, 2, let your mom know what happened, and 3, not bash the lady and bring up a divorce. Honestly, knocking on a window is not a big deal. If you rang the doorbell and know they're home but might not have heard you, this is not a peeping Tom incident. You're just being immature.
Yeah, the OP is making it seem like this woman is like this obsessive, like voyeur, and it's like, no.
Yeah. No, she
just rang the doorbell. You were, too busy macking to answer. And so she knocked on the window. It's not that weird.
Samantha M, NTA, but the divorce comment wasn't necessary. Justified, yes, LOL, but not necessary. But would I have done the same thing? Absolutely.
Okay, people who say this, I'm like, would you though? Because I never think of anything remotely mean until at least 5 hours after the fact when I'm in the shower. And then I'm like, oh, damn it, I really could have hit him where it hurts.
Yeah, hit her with the divorce.
I just have to be like, it's kind of the same as it's like armchair revenge caricatures, you know?
Right.
You're like, oh yeah, well, I would have also told her she was ugly and fat. I totally would have done that too, bro. And it's like, I don't think you would. That. Yeah, and if you would, then you're also an asshole.
Getting a dissenting comment here, Chelsea says, I would have been worse. I don't take kindly to creeps like that.
So what, you would have like killed this woman or like called the, like, I don't know. I can't with people sometimes.
Top comment on Reddit. Oh boy.
I'm going to get so much hate mail today. Here we go.
By PUKUI7. NTA. She's an obnoxious pest with no legitimate business at your house. Peeking through your windows was especially creepy. This all allows a certain level of belligerence from you, including the divorce comments in the heat of the moment.
I can't with people. People are just like, I don't know. Especially now that we know this is like a safe neighborhood, I do think that like knocking on someone's window is normal. If this was like a sketchy neighborhood, then I could really see why you would not at all be cool with someone coming around the side of your house and knocking on the window.
Absolutely. Clearly, they got a chill ass vibe, you know? Keep it chill, dog.
Yeah.
Like, give me a break.
Ugh.
I don't know. I guess the only thing I can say is the divorce comment was fine, and I'm sorry, it was offensive, but it was in the heat of the moment.
Interesting.
So I almost am ready to give her the pass and give her no assholes here.
How? Oh
well,
my
because
gosh.
like whatever, it was weird. I mean, it was weird. She didn't have malice. Like she could have let it go. But like, imagine you were an adult and it was your house and you were like having sex. You would still be really upset.
See, I would give the pass on like the creepy weirdo because I feel like that's just like teenage angst. Saying, oh, is this why your husband divorced you? Like, you know that's going to be an extra knife twist.
Okay, but yeah, but she was heated, like, for her. But, like, would you maybe you're saying you wouldn't make a comment like that?
No, I would never, like, conceive of making a comment like that.
Yeah, you are really nice. I've actually told Sarah, like, be meaner to me on the podcast because I'm mean to you, and then it's weird when you're not mean back. It just makes me seem bad.
Well, that's my master plan all along.
God damn it.
So you get all the hate mail.
Look.
I don't know. I think I can't put myself in, like, the brain of people who, like, can come up with this kind of mean shit on the spot and then just say it.
It was one comment.
It's like 4 comments. You're like,
and it is a little intense. Maybe she's
you're
right.
Like, you're a weirdo who stalks her son everywhere and a freak who looks in people's windows. And then she asked her if the obsessive stalking was the reason for her divorce.
I don't know. I'm kind of
that's like a tirade of like mean shit.
I mean, yes, but I feel like she's 19. She's pissed off. What she did was weird. And I think, like, look, this girl knows. She knows. It probably was. I actually think she might be right.
Right about what? The divorce?
Yeah. I think she might be onto something.
Why do you think that? That's like, wow,
annoying.
That's a leap. Oh my God. This is whatever. No. You're not going to bring me on this one.
I'm not trying to bring
that is some fierce projection.
I don't need you. I'm ready.
That's fine.
AITA for what is this one? I lost the page. AITA
Yelling at a lady for knocking on my window or something to that effect.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say no assholes here.
Oh my God, YTA.
All right, it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show. Listener submission.
We really need a jingle for this.
Would I be the asshole for calling the dog warden on my neighbor?
So yeah, this is a dog running around unsupervised now.
A dog warden. I
know. I went to look up what that is.
A dog. Well, a prison is controlled by a
I understand
warden.
that.
So when I hear dog warden, I picture. Here's what I imagine.
Yep.
The pound is where they keep all the dogs, and it's basically a dog who runs a pound. And he's like, "Listen up, all of you. You need to be good boys and girls because the adopters are coming today. You need to put on, wag that tail, hang that tongue out, jump up on the bars and look like a nice boy.
And do the puppy eyes.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I just looked it up. Apparently a dog warden is just also called animal control.
Wow.
And I'm like,
where?
boo.
In Australia or something? That sounds Australian.
Google. Oh, wait, what do you mean? Oh, wait. No, I was like, where did I learn this? Oh, like what country?
Oh, yeah. There's no way that's American.
I mean, New York apparently has... Elizabeth, New Jersey has a dog warden.
What?
So does Orange, New Jersey. New Jersey's weird. So
New Jersey,
the weird land of New Jersey has dog wardens instead of just calling it animal control.
Yeah. I guess animal control is kind of sterile. It's kind of weird. It's like animal control. It sounds kind of dystopian if you really think about it.
I guess that's true.
Anyway,
that's what they'll call like the government agency that will just like eliminate all of us.
Yeah.
Animal control.
My completely obnoxious neighbors recently became even more obnoxious by acquiring a pit bull. Oh boy, I can already hear the comments coming. Which they pretty much let run free. It shits in my yard, comes onto my porch, and scares my cats. I recently had a discussion with the neighbor about this matter, and she pretty much told me she would not begin keeping the dog on a leash, as is required by law, because he pretty much stays right around my yard, right around your yard. So that would include my yard, right? She justified her and her dog's behavior in part by saying that my cats go into and shit in her yard. One, they don't go in her yard. Her house is a fucking circus that my cats want nothing to do with. There are many ferals in the neighborhood, and she seems to be under the assumption that they're all mine. I guarantee she couldn't pick my cats out of a lineup.
Well, good thing cat lineups are not a thing.
Two, cats don't shit in yards. They only shit in places where they can cover it up. Well, we'll not delve into the logic there.
Okay.
Three, there are no leash laws for cats because they're freaking cats. So would I be the asshole for calling the dog warden on them for having their dog illegally outdoors unleashed?
I don't know what to say.
I have some things to say.
Okay.
First of all, cool your jets, OP, because you're pissing me off with your bullshit. Cats, okay. I'm more on board. See, I trusted OP when they're like, cats don't shit in yards. I'm like, yeah, cats don't shit in yards. I've never heard of that in my entire life. But then her reasoning, they only shit in places where they can cover it up. I'm like, well, you can definitely cover up your shit if you shit in a yard. And I know because I've done it.
Does your yard not have a dirt?
Right, exactly.
A dirt. Wow, I'm an idiot.
Dirt. Wow, you are such a Long Island. Like, what is dirt? Yes, landscaping.
Yes, I'm so
flowers.
Whatever.
I'm not really clear on what they put in the front yards.
She or he would have. For some reason, I like imagine this being a guy, but it would be one thing if OP was like, no, my cats don't go outside, but they clearly go outside. So for you to like try to get in the mind of your cat and be like, oh no, my cats don't like her house. Like they just don't go there. Like it's a mess. Like why would they wouldn't go there? It's like, no, that's not really an argument unless you're like, you've got eagle eyes on your cats all the time.
Yeah.
You can't claim that they don't also shit in her yard. You don't really know.
Yes, 100%. And I gotta say, OP, you sound like a cat person. And look, my girlfriend.
What do you mean by that?
You know, cat people, they're just very like, ugh. They're like cats, you know? And my girlfriend's a cat person, so I can say this. It's just they're
Oh my
very like, they tend to be type A and like, because what is a cat, right? It's basically a nightmarish.
What is a cat? It's a feline.
It's a nightmarish person that you live with who like loves you randomly and conditionally.
Am I a cat?
Yes, you may be a cat. But, dog people obviously are better. And now here's the thing. Pit bull people are a mixed bag. I have a cousin who has 2 wonderful pit bulls. They're honestly some of the best dogs I know.
Yeah, they're so cute.
They're so cute. They're so loving. They are a little scary. They will occasionally kind of scare me.
Okay.
But he, I think, is very responsible about them. And like, they're like... I don't know. There's a thing where like some people have a pit bull and I feel like they don't really control their animal. And like, I know that he controls them. And it's like, I feel like a pit bull is that kind of dog. Like that dog could eat you. So if you don't have the kind of personality to master a dog like that, like you need to not have one because they're dangerous.
Are they?
They are. Now, here's the thing. You're not very likely to be killed by a dog in your life. Good news, everybody.
Oh, great.
About 30 people a year die from dogs in the United States.
I'll take those odds.
Which is a little less than the amount of people that men that Sarah kills on Tinder.
Thank you.
Now, but the thing about it is 80% of those people are killed by pit bulls.
Interesting.
So, very few.
Pit bulls are not, I know that they have this reputation of being so scary, but like to me, they're not the scariest dogs. Like I feel like Rottweilers are scarier.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel you.
Pit bulls are just like cute. I just follow a bunch on Instagram too, and I'm like, oh, the little baby, it wouldn't hurt anyone.
I don't like the term pit bull all that much because I feel like it needs to be divided because I feel like it kind of runs a broad range. It basically means a dog with a scary jaw at this point.
Yeah.
I know pit bull owners are super touchy. I do love pit bulls.
People get so sanctimonious about it. And they act like they're like an oppressed class. I'm like, you chose to adopt this dog. Like, calm down. Deal with the consequences.
That's very funny.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got. They only fired because I owned a pit bull.
Seriously.
We need affirmative action.
It's like you showed up to work drunk 3 times. That's why they fired you.
Jeremy, you drive a truck with Calvin pissing on Hillary Clinton. I don't think this is about the dog, bro. Bailey T writes, NTA for talking with her first before taking action, but definitely an asshole for being entitled about your own damn cats who shouldn't even be outside. Keep your cats indoors or invest in a catio. What's a catio? Like a patio?
A cat patio. I love it.
That's adorable.
It sounds so cute.
Or take them on walks if you really want them to get outside time.
Imagine putting a cat on a leash and taking it for a walk. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
I've seen it. I see it.
You've seen it?
You've never seen it?
No.
Oh, I've seen it like 3 times in New York.
I have not lived. You know what I have seen? This one guy at a music festival, he brought his cat in a backpack, and the backpack had like a little window the cat could put his... It was so cute.
I feel like that's cruel.
It was probably
Let me
cruel.
tell you, for that cat, he's like, this is literally the worst place I've ever been.
Probably. He was at an EDM festival. He could not have been having a good time, but it was cute.
A lot of people don't realize, but cats fucking hate dubstep. You didn't know? They hate that shit.
I didn't realize.
No, they only like they do like tropical house, but you gotta they're very choosy. True. No, I mean, wait, so I'm trying to parse out what Bailey said. She said that because OP went to the neighbor first before taking action, because I do give props for that.
Yeah.
She had a discussion.
Because people do that on Reddit all the time. They're like, my neighbor is doing this mildly annoying thing. Would I be the asshole if I took a shit on their front porch? And it's like, yeah, just talk to the person.
Yeah, she had a discussion with the neighbor about this matter, and she pretty much told me she would not begin keeping the dog on a leash.
She told her, like, basically tough noogies. And so it's like, okay, then you kind of leave me with no choice.
And her neighbor is breaking the law, and I think the law is fair. I don't want to get the pit bull owners mad and say it's justified, but I think it's a fair law. It's true about all dogs. Yeah, hey, look, small dogs don't kill anyone, but they probably bite a lot more than bigger dogs because they're very insecure. They're
so annoying.
I actually identify as a small dog. So. Jared B writes, NTA for calling the dog warden on the neighbor, somewhat TA for letting your cats outside. Outdoor cats have a significantly lower lifespan. Wow.
I know. This is like a weird hill that both Bailey and Jared were like dying on. So I was like, is this really that bad? I've heard of outdoor cats, or like I've heard of indoor outdoor cats. It's not so common, but it's not a foreign concept. So I decided to like look into it. So
wild.
I don't know. I just really cared about the cats. American Humane, which is not the Humane Society, but they're another organization. They kind of like they have this article. They don't outright say one way or the other that you shouldn't keep your cats outside, but they kind of like gently suggest that it's safer to keep your cat indoors, not let them outside, because feral cats can carry diseases like feline AIDS that could get passed on, and your cat can like contract parasites. So it's just more dangerous. And they offer like all these tips what to do if you do decide to let your cat outside, such as keeping them on a leash or secured in a cage, which is just like at that point, don't let them outside.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, I mean, and Pet MD was kind of like, there are drawbacks, but there can be benefits, like getting more exercise. But overall, it seems like easier to just not let your cat go outside.
Look,
but I don't think he's the asshole for letting his cats go outside.
No, I mean, God, I think, look, I used to have, I've got a couple angles on this. For one, my parents kept dogs outside in Arizona. And
is that the same? Because it's hot, you mean?
Yeah, I would say it's worse, probably. I mean, Arizona is the hottest state, or like one of the hottest on average, surely.
I think that's just what they say about Arizona State University, and it's not what they mean.
Oh, that I'm really hot because I went there? Thank you so much.
Exactly.
No, and I did have a few friends that say, like, that's crazy that you have outside dogs that can't come in, and, you know, they
can't come in?
No, they were outside dogs.
Whoa.
So I did have some friends who were like, hey, that's kind of messed up, and it is.
That is messed up.
But here's the thing,
they could
Sarah,
never come inside.
Well, they could come in briefly, but they weren't inside dogs. They were outside dogs.
I don't think that's like a thing.
Outside dogs?
To never ever let your dogs inside? I don't think this is like a... Okay.
Oh my God. Are my parents monsters?
Well, having grown up with dogs, when you like let them outside to like run around, use the bathroom... But they hang out inside during the day.
I feel like Arizona, though, you grew up in New York.
Yes.
So it's like, well, a dog would die if it was left outside.
Yes.
In New York, like, I don't know, 4 months of the year.
Yeah, but a dog could die in 100-degree weather.
They don't die. They're just miserable.
So it's fine. Okay, cool.
If there's water, heat won't really kill you, you know.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? It was messed up. We kept those dogs outside and it was 100 degrees out.
I would just want to like play with them.
There was a pool. We had a pool. I forgot about the pool.
Okay.
I could dip in the pool.
I think that your parents are going to probably come at me for this, but like, I think that's a little strange to never let them in outside.
Yeah.
But like...
I feel guilty now saying it. I let it happen. They were in a press class. Well, and here's the thing I didn't even mention. Two of the dogs were outside, but one of them was an inside dog.
No! What? Why did the one dog... See, the other dogs are now at a press class. It's not the pit bulls. It's these outside dogs. Oh my God. That is so funny, but also bad.
Okay, and my other angle on this is I think it's messed up, but I've also had a situation. I had this roommate, and I lived in a very small New York apartment, and it was basically my bedroom hung off the living room, and the living room and the kitchen. God, the living room and the kitchen together were like maybe the square feet of like half a garage. You know, very small.
That means
tiny.
Kind of nothing to me. But...
Well, about the size of a car or so. Like not, not big. Yeah, tiny, you know? And, well, maybe 2 cars, but you get it. Like, it was a small room. It wasn't comfortable. And he would only let the cat be in that room.
In the main area?
Yeah, in this living room and kitchen. And the thing is, we lived in a multifamily housing. So, like, basically, it was a 4-story house or a 3-story house. Everyone knew each other.
Right.
And I was like, let the fucking cat run around the house.
Did he let the cat in his own bedroom?
No. No,
that's fucked up.
He would only leave the cat in that room, and all day the cat would claw underneath my door.
Oh no!
But the thing is, the cat was a monster because like sometimes he'd be like, "All right, fuck it, just come in then. If you're gonna scratch all day," and then the cat would just scratch me.
Oh God!
So like we weren't really friends.
That sucks.
I tried to be friends with the cat, but I just felt like he was a monster.
He didn't want you back. Cats never do. That's the thing.
They're shitty animals.
Yeah. They're cute from afar.
I know I'm going to end up liking cats because I know my girlfriend's going to make us get one, and then I'm going to bond with one of these little punks.
You have to just get the right cat. Like one of my roommates had a really cute cat. She was like adorable. She was like all like a charcoal gray and had green eyes. She was so cute. And she had the personality of a dog. Like she was always down to hang out and wanted to be pet.
I love a dog cat.
She was great.
Carly F writes, would the dog warden put the dog down? Because if yes, then you're both the asshole. The dog shouldn't be punished for being an effing dog.
That
Yes.
seems
What?
oddly reminiscent of this other comment that we had.
Yes, your neighbor has issues, but that's not the dog's fault, and it doesn't sound like he's violent. Okay.
Yeah, someone else responded that a dog warden's primary role is to just reunite lost animals with families and make sure they're safe. Although I don't know, because when I think of animal control, I think like they're taking dogs to the pound and or putting them down, right?
I'm sure they issue fines and other
Oh,
things,
yeah, they probably
right?
do
I don't
fines.
really
Okay,
know.
well,
I've never heard of a dog warden.
I know.
Bridget D writes, your cats are totally up in everyone's business when they're outside. Don't pretend they aren't. That's so true. You know those cats are knocking pies off windowsills. They're up to no good.
Those damn cats.
Genesee says, boring. Okay. Clearly NTA. Please evaluate why you're seeking validation for this obvious and warranted action. It's always
Harsh,
fascinated that
man.
we would get, like, there's so much disagreement on this post, but no, Jenna's like, obvious.
I know. Well, it is kind of obvious because the OP had already tried to talk to the person and the person was like, tough shit, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's kind of like, what else are they meant to do?
I guess
What is the pit bull even doing? What are the infractions? Shitting in the yard, coming
Yeah.
onto the porch, scaring the cats.
the only defense I can mount here is that it's a one strike rule before involving the authorities. But like personally, I think it's ridiculous. It's like they're not going to put the dog down for shitting in someone's yard.
No.
What the fuck is this? Like fucking Singapore? No, it's not going to happen.
No.
Oh boy, now we're getting.
I don't know. I'm like, why did
Singapore
you
doesn't
use-
have harsh justice system.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You've heard
yeah.
that, right? That because they cane people.
Yes,
That's
yes,
all I
yes.
was talking about. Calm down, Singapore.
I got it. Don't do drugs there.
So I just, it's a one strike rule. So maybe she's going to talk to the neighbor again. But like, honestly, it's like, look, nothing bad's going to happen to this person.
Right. It's probably not. I think it's
she's going to fine at the
think it's
very
fine.
worst. I even doubt that. I feel like she's going to get a stern talking to from a dog warden.
the dog warden. It's so funny to me.
If that, they might even be
A
like,
dog dressed in a little like police correctional facilities officer uniform.
yeah.
He's so cute.
So would I be the asshole for calling the dog ward on my neighbor? Big fat, not the asshole the other person is from me.
Yeah, not the asshole.
All right. Well, is that it, Sarah? Anything else we want to talk about? I got a new job. I'm really happy. I'm not going to say the name of it, but you could figure it out super easy.
Just go on
But
Danny's LinkedIn.
yeah, it's really awesome company. It's like finance oriented. It's cryptocurrency related.
Oh
And
boy.
all I can say is it really is nice to work for a company that has like money to do stuff. Like every other media company I work for, it's always like, oh no, we don't have like money. Like we
Yeah.
have
They're like, what's that?
no, we have like attention. Do you want like attention? We've got attention.
Do you want exposure?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you want exposure? How about this picture? We have a signed picture here, signed by a celebrity. You want to look at it? No money. No, we got Mario Kart. You want to play Mario Kart? No,
Yeah. I know. Do you want beer on tap? No, you can't drink. Oh, sorry.
yeah, we got all kinds of crazy perks. We got avocados in the fridge 24/7. Hey, how about you give me $5 more? No.
No, and one foosball table.
So yeah, that's pretty much the update with me. Nothing too interesting. I mean, I have a long commute now. 50-minute commute with a transfer. So I think the fairest way to describe it is two 25-minute commutes in a row.
Sure.
I'm on the PATH train now, which for you non-New Yorkers is like a Jersey train.
Yeah. It's pretty nice though. It's fast. It's clean.
It's nicer, but the only thing that's unpleasant is you have to pay for each ride.
You can get an unlimited thing. It's actually pretty cheap.
False.
My brother told me that you can. I
Your
think he has
brother
one.
is a Jersey propaganda artist. That is, I guarantee you there's
They don't have one? I thought
No.
it was like $90 a month.
Nope. There's no such thing as an unlimited path. All there is called Ride Link, and you just pay for it up front, and they charge you a little bit less. But it's not unlimited. It's very limited.
You pay for it up front. So what do you mean? You just put money on a card?
Yeah, that's it. Well, they charge you a little less. So like a normal ticket's like $275, and then they're
Okay.
like, all right, we'll knock it down to $240 or maybe.
Okay, if you buy like a bulk
If you buy
package.
20 at once,
Interesting. That's annoying.
Yeah, I work in Hoboken. It's very pretty. There
Yep.
is an office thing that happens every day, and I'm coming
Uh-oh.
for men. And where do I
Yes.
see the men? In the men's room.
Okay.
Now in the men's room, there's two urinals followed by 4 stalls. Okay. And usually on average, I would say 1, maybe 2 of the stalls is in use. Of course, these shitty fucking men always shit in the first stall, which is right by the urinals, which means if you're pissing, you're always pissing by a shitter. Go down to the 3rd stall, Carl.
What difference does it make? You're like 2 feet removed.
I can feel the air coming out of his bum as I like, get away from me. You really
stop. Oh my God.
Are you fucking serious? You really want to stand right next to a shitting man when you rather have like 10 feet between you?
I've never thought about it. And also our 2 stalls are like the size of this table in terms of proximity. Like this one's here and this one's here. So no, this is not a luxury I've ever had.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
At work.
Well, yeah, but on average, are all the stalls being used in the
There's 2 of them.
Room?
So sometimes.
Wait, there's only 2 stalls in the ladies' room?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
How many are there in the men's?
Oh, there's like 4 or 5.
Where we used to work?
Oh, where we used to work? I guess there's 1 stall and 2 urinals.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a while.
You had no choice. I don't know. This is never a thing I've thought about, but okay.
Anyway, just don't shit in the first stall. Also, that gives you a little bit of privacy. You want to be in the 3rd stall. Is that crazy? I think that's legitimate.
I mean, you know what? I won't call it crazy. It's just not something I've ever thought about before.
Yeah, so that's my life.
Wow.
Always a man.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but hopefully I can. I'm going to be on Cash Cab tomorrow.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, so Bravo's bringing it back. I actually really don't know if I'm allowed to say this, so I'll find out. Bravo's bringing it back, and they just like invited a couple of people from our office to do a taping. So I'm going to answer. Shit, I need to go to trivia tonight so I can practice for Cash Cab.
Oh my God. And then can you win a lot of money, or how does Cash Cab actually work?
Truthfully, I have no idea. I think for like every question you get right, you win some money.
Hell yeah.
So...
Well, if only there was a better way for you to make money, some kind of recurring subscription service. Folks, there is. Please. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to the podcast. If you want, we would really love to have you subscribe to our Patreon. There are already, I think, 7 bonus episodes, maybe 8.
Yeah, we have a bunch.
They're building
great.
up, and you get complete access for just $5 a month. We'd really appreciate it. It takes a lot of effort to do the podcast. Sarah actually wrote this whole episode. Big round of applause.
Yes,
for her.
I submitted all the problems myself.
She did. Yeah, she actually made up all
I'm
the
actually
OPs.
a huge dick.
And I spend a lot of time editing. I actually do edit the podcast. That's why you think that I'm bad now.
Yeah,
like
no.
you don't even know the shit I cut. So it usually, and I'm being honest here, we spend probably together, I would say 25 to 30 hours a week on this, all inclusive, from the writing to the editing. So it's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort.
But we love you guys.
Thanks so much for listening. Again, a reminder, you can find all of our links at AITApod.com. Please, 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 we love your submissions, and we also love your comments and feedback.
Yes.
Like, next time you're mad at me, fucking just write it in the thing, because I love to read it and learn from you, and also maybe make fun of you, but also Sarah makes fun of me, so it bounces out.
Yeah, so we all just make fun of Danny at some point. It's fine.
It's fine. All right, well, we love you guys, and we'll see you next Monday morning.
All right, bye.